to become successful in terms of becoming an international student here in Tallinn, Estonia. Number one, you have to during the interview process, they specifically ask me how am I going to support my studies. So financially, hey everyone, this is RJ and welcome again to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well and safe in this time of the year. As for me, I'm just enjoying the beautiful weather outside, and it's been sunnier lately, and that simply means that spring is just around the corner. So if you're new to my channel, most of my contents are related to me living here in Tallinn, Estonia as a foreigner, and I'm also sharing my insights and experiences as a former international student. Lately, I've been receiving a lot of questions from you guys inquiring about how to become a foreign student here in Tallinn, Estonia. So I decided to answer some of your frequently asked questions that you have left on my comment section, and as well as the direct messages that I've received in my Instagram account. I'm going to try to shed some light on the various information that I know about and give you some information that you need to know before you apply and move here to Tallinn, Estonia as a foreign student. So without further ado, let's jump into it. In case you missed out on my previous video, I've already discussed some of the things that you have to consider when choosing a program and why is it important that you have to do so. So just to answer this question, I think that preparation is one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind. So there are basically three things that you have to consider in terms of preparation. You have to prepare first mentally, financially, as well as emotionally to become successful in terms of becoming an international student here in Tallinn, Estonia. Number one, you have to mentally know yourself that you are ready for a new challenge. It is very important that you have to know yourself and be mentally prepared that you're going to embark to a different journey. I think it is also noteworthy to consider the financial aspect, because once you go here and become an international student, you have to be independent enough to support yourself and know how much you're going to spend in order for you to sustain your living here. And number three, the emotional aspects, which is also crucial when it comes to moving to a foreign country, is something that you have to be prepared for. It means that you're going to not see most of your family from your home country. So if you're going to see it as a whole, but it is a big step that you're going to take once you decide and become a foreign student here in Tallinn, Estonia. It is also a big consideration that you're going to leave your home country or your current situation. Let's say, for instance, you are already working in a stable job. So let's say in my case, I was already working in Dubai. I already have a stable job there, but I left it simply because I wanted to have a different career path. So there are pros and cons that you're going to take in order for you to arrive into this kind of a situation. Aside from opening a discussion about the living situation here in Tallinn, Estonia as a foreigner, I'm also a travel enthusiast and have been to more than 40 countries. I love visiting other places and countries here in Europe, and if you're interested to see some of my travel escapades, I've already put the links on the description box below, so do check them out. And this is related to the interview that most of the schools are going to have after they decided that you are eligible for the next step. Schools will going to have their specific deadline. Usually it's between so and so dates, and once they receive the application through this portal, they will going to review and assess whether or not you will going to proceed with the next step, which is the interview. Once they have made their decision that you are accepted for, they will going to set up an interview date for you. So in my case, based on my experience, at least on the program that I have taken, it was a panel interview, and I was actually shocked because there were 7 or 6 people in the panel. And yeah, they were just throwing questions right, left and right. It was not a difficult question. It's more related to the motivation letter that I've written, as well as the materials that we have to read beforehand. So in my course, which is Liberal Arts and Humanities, they have given us several reading materials 1 month before the interview in order for us to give our point of view, try to explain, and basically they were going to ask specific questions related on the materials that we have chosen. So in my case, I think I have chosen history and cultural analysis. Basically, they just asked me questions related to those things. I was able to manage and answer some of their questions, but was more of a casual interview, and the only difficult parts of it was the questions related to the articles that they have asked us to read. So yeah, do keep in mind that those things were going to be possible. Mostly it's going to be more of a casual interview rather than a technical one. During the interview process, they specifically asked me how am I going to support my studies. So financially, you have to make sure that you are capable to pay the tuition fee, or that you have already secured a form of scholarship, because education is not cheap here in Estonia. And if you feel like these contents were going to help you out achieve your plan to become a foreign student here in Tallinn, Estonia, hit the subscribe and notification bell icon so you won't miss any of my succeeding videos and contents. TOEFL or English proficiency tests, but in my case, I've taken IELTS because that's what's required for the program. And I think TOEFL is also a test that they were going to accept, but you have to make sure and check the specific information based on the program that you're going to apply for. In my case, I took the IELTS in Dubai because that's where I was based at during the time of my application. IELTS is going to be valid for 2 years, and in my case and in my time, IELTS grade is only a band score of 6, and no lower grade than 5.5, so it is fairly achievable. But I think nowadays they have already increased the required grade, which you, like what I said, you have to make sure that you know the specific information or the specific required grades of the college that you're applying for. You see, after getting the letter of acceptance from the university, they were going to guide you through on the next step that you're going to take. So in my case, they advised me to apply for my D visa to the nearest Estonian embassy. And the nearest Estonian embassy that was close to me during that time was in Tbilisi, Georgia. And I have to spend there 7 to 10 days. It waited for my visa, but I know couple of people who went to Japan and they were able to get their visa like 2 or 3 days after they submitted it. You have to personally apply and go to the Estonian embassy. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, there's no Estonian embassy, and also included the list of Estonian embassies all over the world in the description box below, so you can check it out. I was able to successfully manage and juggle working and studying at the same time. In terms of the schedule, I think I was able to have 3 or 4 days in school, and then the rest I could work. For instance, my schedule in school is between 8 to 9. So from 10 onwards, I was able to work on that particular day. So yeah, it is possible for you to have job while working. However, as I've mentioned previously in my video, it is important that you have to make sure that you're going to manage and pass the subject or courses that you are tasked to do, because at the end of the day, what the school is expecting for you is to study here and not to work. But nevertheless, they are allowing students to actually work here, to actually earn something in order for you to pay for your tuition fee. That's why it is very important that you are going to pass a number of ECTs on that particular semester. Otherwise, they will going to revoke your residence permits if you were not able to do so. I'm not able to make a comparison between the master's program and the bachelor's program because I'm only able to experience bachelor's But based on the information that I got from my friends who are taking master's program, it's fairly easy as well. They were able to work and study at the same time, and most of them are able to squeeze in particular subjects into, let's say, 2 or 3 days. That doesn't necessarily apply to all programs here in Tallinn, Estonia. So each and every program has their own set of rules, as well as it will going to depend on the schedule of a particular semester. So yeah. International students are allowed to work here for full time. However, like what I said previously, the main goal is to still pass the number of ECTs of that particular semester. Possible for you to work and study at the same time. So it's just a matter of time management. If you are able to work on a specific job and able to accomplish the task for school at the same time, then you will not going to have any problem here once you arrive as a foreign student. So those are just some of the frequently asked questions that you guys have raised and asked me. But if there are other questions that you want me to answer, do leave them on the comment section down below, and you can also follow me on my Instagram account and specifically ask the question that you need to know, so that I'll be able to answer them for you. So watching this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can always follow me on my Instagram account. And this is going to be it for me for today. See you on my next video. Travel and adventure.